Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Cave Talk. I'm your host, Max Castro.
And I'm your co-host, Ty Long.
Special guest, Cleve Mitchell.
Not special again.
Yes.
Just Cleve.
Back in action.
Another
I know
day.
you guys love me from all the hate I'm getting on TikTok for saying like. So I'm going to try
Did you
not
come
to
prepared
say
this
that.
time?
The chuckle, what else?
Did you come prepared this time?
I actually got work on that. I seen that clip and I had to dog on myself about that.
Like.
Don't even
Like-
get that in my head. I'm going to try not to say it.
Like what?
You know,
Like
it's
what?
gonna be-
Like what are you
it's
not
gonna be
going to
like,
try to say?
But like, I don't know. It's just like that. But today, like I'm saying, we're just gonna dive into some news here at the beginning.
Yeah. Did you see that thing about Olivia Dunn, the LSU gymnast girl?
About the AI thing. And
Yeah,
all that.
about she promoted Cactus AI. So like now they said that she could get like something taken away.
Is that like the Chat GPT kind of?
It's similar to
Is
that.
it?
Yeah, it's like so it's more based off of what, you got a story about ChatGPT or something?
You say yours first.
Yeah,
and
you
then,
gotta have.
No, Cactus AI is more like based off of writing. So it's going to write your essays rather than like ChatGPT does everything for you.
Well, that's good to know, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very good to know.
That's very good to know. But ChatGPT is actually pretty cool. I feel like. Well, have you used it yet?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I've used ChatGPT
Like, you can get
before.
just
I mean,
whatever
it's
you want
whatever.
there.
Yeah, and it just gives it, and it doesn't. The thing that's cool about ChatGPT is it doesn't use like online, so it's all just from its operating system or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's not looking up your answers either. So it's like, but that can also make it wrong.
What's the difference between yours and then the
Well,
other one?
the Cactus AI is just mostly for like AI. Or not AI, but it's more focused on only writing. Like
paragraphs
ChatGPT
and-
can do math and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Cactus AI can only do papers.
Wait, how does it do math?
You just type in problems and it gives you answers.
Bro.
Yeah, it
We've
can do
been
it.
needing
It's
that
all
lately
coming out.
too.
There you go. Now you got it. ChatGPT does like everything, but Cactus AI is only for like it does like hooks and all that for you writing. It's all writing.
How do you think like school system's gonna like adapt to that?
I have no
like,
school-
like high school and like colleges and like. I mean, that's basically it.
I mean, there's AI detectors, I guess, for like essays, but like with the math stuff for ChatGPT, and imagine if they make like a AI just based off of math, then that's going to be like, how are they going to detect it doing a math problem?
Right.
So, I mean, there's already like apps you can get, like what's that one math app called?
There's Fit Math.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
been out for a long time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but now,
It's like the same concept,
mhm,
kinda.
yeah. So I don't know. I guess that's kind of crazy, but yeah, the AI, it's just going to be crazy to see how schools are now, instead of like plagiarizing, you know how like you can run it through a plagiarizing
Yeah.
operator system. Now it's just going to be running it through AI detectors to find out if the student actually did it or if like an AI did it for him.
I'm not gonna lie. I've used it like twice in the past like week or so.
Oh, really? You've been cheating?
Actually,
Do I need to tell
I'm
Miss
just gonna
Hall
be honest
about
with
that?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we used it this morning.
you. We used
okay?
it this morning. Yeah.
This
This
morning.
morning.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Why work harder when you can just work smarter? I mean, I'm not gonna say what class or what name, and I really hope she's not watching this right now. But, dude, I mean, if you have it there, if you can do it, then why not? Why not take the easier route than actually sitting there typing something? I mean, in my opinion, I think it's all dumb. Like, I'm typing about a speech that's like,
You just gave it away, basically.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, listen, the teacher I like, she's a nice person. Okay, I actually do really like her. I think school.
I wonder how the
just-
AI detectors are going to work, though. Like, you got to think, how is a student, like, what if they mess up and a student actually wrote it and then the AI detector says, oh, he didn't write
I
this
feel like that's
or
gonna
she
take a
didn't
long
write it?
time for it to like actually work.
Like, perfect it to where it's
Perfect it,
always 100% correct. Because another AI is checking one AI. So it's like, what if that actually is a student and they just think, oh, this is an AI, but it's not?
I mean, me and Max typed in basically the same thing, and we had way two different outcomes. I feel. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
I know,
like
that's
it
what I'm
was-
saying. How's
We
the
typed
AI
same
detector
thing,
going
we
to be?
just changed a couple words.
No, it was one word.
It was one word. Yeah.
It was one word.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. So how is it going to be
gave us
able to
like
tell?
two total different things.
I mean, it was the same thing, but it was different. Like, a different response.
Like we're gonna start.
Okay.
We're gonna start the count. That's one like so far.
Yeah, AI is definitely the writing stuff for school and everything's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, that might as well just not write papers anymore because now you can just do whatever with.
I mean, you can basically
AI.
stop whatever you like. Actually, whatever you need, and it's gonna come up.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
it's
Because
gonna
whenever
be-
you get a real job, you can just tell ChatGPT, like if you're a principal or something, you could be like, okay, write this announcement out to all the staff.
Yeah.
Like you can just tell it simple words to write and it'll do it for you.
And
so.
I was watching like this TikTok, I think, where people got on there and typed basically like a whole movie like script. Like,
yeah.
I want this and this and this. Like, I wonder if.
And then you
people
can
are
just
gonna,
make
like,
little tweaks
Yeah.
and make it better because obviously, you know, you probably hopefully have more creativity than
Exactly.
a computer, but
Yeah.
you just make those little tweaks to make it amazing rather than good.
But it just gives you like the thing you want.
Yeah, exactly. And does it all for you.
And that's what's crazy. Like, it's like, what you can type. I mean, you definitely have to pack a lot of information on if you want something very in detail. But you literally could type a sentence or two, and you literally have paragraphs of everything. Like, I mean, I guess what you like. Whenever, oh my, I said it again. But whenever you do it, you will do a paragraph or you'll do a sentence, and then it'll turn into like what, a page and a half.
I mean, you can say like, okay, give me 5 paragraphs talking about this, and that.
Yeah, and you,
Oh.
the more specific you get with it, the
specific you are,
more.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
That is actually so crazy because
So if you give it a paragraph and tell you to write, like if you give it a paragraph of a description and then it'll give you like 12 paragraphs of, since you were so descriptive of something, like it just makes it better. The more you type, the better it's going to be able to
Yes.
type out what you're saying.
and another thing that's crazy, like I could see where you could catch that, but how, like what you were saying, how can you catch the math? Because
But I guess it's kind of,
the
you got to look at photomath. Photomath has been around, and people can't really tell if you do that until it comes to test time.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you're smart enough about it, you could still get it done in test time. But like,
Not real. I mean, how are you gonna?
if you can look at your notes, I think you'll be fine. And if you're
Yeah,
out
but
of
still, once you
view-
get that math problem, it's like totally different than what you looked at in your notes, and you're screwed anyways.
But what's more worth it, if you're not good at something and you do all the homework and you have one big test, you could still pass.
I mean,
know
yeah,
what
you
I'm
could
saying?
get like a C or something, but it's just.
I mean, if you're really like, I guess, if you don't know how to do it, because there's some stuff in math, I'm just like sitting there, I'm like, dude. I mean, we have 20 IXLs stacked up, trying to do all this, and I'm just like, okay, well, photo math, here's my work. I mean, it is what it is. I'm wrapping myself out to the whole River High School, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, I've used it twice already, and that I don't think it's gonna be the last time I use it.
Yeah, me
before we
too.
Graduate, because it's just so much easier. Like it actually is. Like try to just type something, just get your answer, or just. I mean, I don't want to say waste your time, but like.
We-
suffer and just stress out about it when you can just get it and it's right in front of you. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying on that, and that's the reason. Like, why not just use an AI if you're gonna get all this busy work? I mean, they give
Exactly.
you all this busy
Yeah,
work
that is
to
true.
do.
Busy work's dumb.
Yeah, and,
you gotta
like,
look at busy work.
I mean, why?
Stupid.
No, okay. I'm just not gonna follow directions about everything. If I think something's dumb and busy work, I'm gonna do the easy way out of it. If I think it's gonna be useful to me and I'm gonna gain knowledge off of it, then I'm gonna do it the right way. But I mean, if there's an easy way out to do something that's very time consuming and that's gonna have little to no benefit when I'm older later in life, then I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, this kind of get into like what we were gonna talk about later on the episode today about school system and all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, I like it.
Joe Rogan's been in the news recently.
Yeah, I've seen
Best
that.
podcast
Yeah.
in the world. He's been in the news about his family, his biological dad. What do you think about that?
I think that's actually crazy.
That his dad's like
Like,
coming out against him
yeah.
now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just
Like I haven't really looked a lot into it, but I've heard that he was like, I don't know.
Joe Rogan's came out previously and said like his dad was abusive and like abused his mom and all this and that, and his mom and dad got a divorce at a young age, like whenever he was 5, and then he hadn't seen his dad since then, since like he was 5. So what?
Well, if he hasn't seen, okay, so probably what it is, he hasn't seen him since 5. Now his son's very successful, and he's trying to get back in the family and get some money.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. That's
Well,
what I
that's
think
for
it
sure.
is.
I mean,
Hey, Joe Rogan hasn't said a single thing about it.
Oh, really?
Like he hasn't responded back to his dad. His dad posted like there's like a series of TikToks you can go watch and that his dad posted, and Joe Rogan hasn't said anything about it.
What? No, what?
His sister's in it too, his biological sister or whatever.
Wait, with his dad?
Yeah, like they're together, and then it's her husband also was in some of the videos.
So he hasn't seen his dad since he was 5 years old.
His biological dad, yeah.
What are the TikToks even about? Like
His
what are-
dad's like calling him out. He's like saying was not abusive, and his sister's like, "Yeah, you never grew up with this man. This man's such a loving, such a loving father, and this and that." And then so they want to talk now.
Didn't
To
he
Joe
make a
Rogan.
podcast with his sister? Or her?
Who, Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I don't know
Or
about
her- I
that.
might be thinking about someone else.
I've never seen that if he did.
I don't know. Probably not then. I'm probably thinking about someone else.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just for money. They want some money out of Joe Rogan.
I think it is too.
and that's terrible. Like, I'm. Why when people get successful, there's always someone trying to bring them down or gyp some money off of them, you know? And it's very terrible that his family. That just shows.
Yeah,
you-
and his sister said something. He was like, she said she had a Pandora's box that she could open to ruin Joe's career. So like, what does that mean? Does she really have dirt on him or no?
If she did, then why wouldn't she go out with it and get him?
Well, because she wants money first.
But what is going to be in the box that is?
What
from
does
when
she
he was 5
know
years old and
exactly?
younger?
What does she actually know?
Okay, I'm not saying this is a thing, but what happens if like the thing she actually knows that like maybe when he was younger his father was abusive and maybe raped him, you know?
Yeah,
Or
but that
did
wouldn't.
something that-
She said she had something that would ruin his career. That wouldn't ruin his career. If anything, that would be like. Then it'd be all
What if?
bad thing.
Oh
for
wait,
Joe.
no, it wasn't Joe Rogan. Wait, who's the guy of the UFC? Dana White. No.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking something else. Huh. I mean, I feel like Joe Rogan's like such a nice. I mean, you also don't know because you see the internet.
Yeah,
side.
Well,
you
the
don't
main
see
thing
the
is
bad
his
stuff.
dad saying he's lying about him.
But
like-
he was 5 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But well, also he hadn't seen him since he was 5. So, but his dad saying he lied about him and like ruined his image or whatever, which nobody knew him before this. But he's saying he lied about him, and now everyone thinks he abused his wife, abused his kids, abused this, beat up people for no reason, that sort of stuff.
Mm.
Because that's what Joe Rogan, and that was an old podcast too, like that he said that stuff about his father. Like it was the older podcast whenever he said that stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a recent one or anything. And his dad's just now coming out against him. So
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know how he has like 3 hour long podcasts on.
well, he also has really interesting people on. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Just imagine editing all that.
I wonder how he started. I want to watch like one of his first ever videos.
I don't think I've ever watched like the whole.
I mean, he doesn't post them. I think they're only on like Spotify to listen to him. Well, or the full thing is the full thing on YouTube
That's
though.
what I've seen, the 3 hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen. What's it under?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
See,
I can only see the clips.
Yeah, I always watch Joe Rogan clips. I like to watch. I mean, I like to watch clips better because I'm more of a person that likes to see a bunch of information at once. That or I'll just like.
If
read
the
a book
subject's
instead.
cool, then I want to watch the whole thing.
Oh
though.
yeah, true.
Like sometimes he has really cool people. I'm like, I want to watch that whole
Mhm.
episode, and then I can't. Sometimes he just has random people. Like not random people. They're still like famous, but they're kind of random.
I mean, they know what they're talking about, I guess. But
Yeah. It's kind of like what you're into too. So.
yeah, right.
Have you ever heard of the Mothman?
I have, yeah, a little bit. Like how it kind of like came up.
Mhm.
Like where he came up like with West Virginia, which is like our border state basically.
Yeah.
It's like a 2.5 hour drive from here or something like that.
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean-
crazy story.
Yeah, I mean, I literally from where I live, it's probably like 15-minute drive to go to West Virginia.
Yeah, well, this was in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is 2 hours from Hannibal, Ohio, which obviously we're in Hannibal, Ohio. So
And
Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And it originated from a story. This couple was in the woods, like hiking or just having an outing, and then they saw this mysterious object appear, and it looked like a man, but it had 10-foot wings.
10 foot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
10-foot
So
wings.
wait, then the thing had to be taller than 10 foot.
Well, I guess.
Oh, well, or I mean, I guess
The wings could be like
yeah.
up,
Dude,
but
still 10 foot.
yeah,
Holy.
10 foot's crazy. But they think it came about because there used to be these TNT factories made to make TNT for World War II. They made all this TNT and now they're abandoned.
Mhm.
So these abandoned factories supposedly let off radioactive waste and that sort of thing. So they think that may have, if this Mothman is true, they think that's what caused him to become a Mothman. Which I don't know how, that's kind of far fetched, but you see all these movies and stuff, and it's like radioactive lets off and makes these crazy creatures.
Yeah.
So maybe it just made a moth huge.
I mean, isn't that actually a true thing, though? Like, oh,
Well,
okay.
sightings have been reported. There's been huge sightings about the Mothman in that area.
You know, like, not to get off the subject, but still on it, like, you know, with what we talked about, I think it was the last podcast I was on, about the higher train
Mhm.
spilling. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder what will happen, because
Well, there was a disaster supposedly in Point Pleasant. Well, there was a disaster in Point Pleasant where a bridge collapsed, and a couple or people supposedly saw the Mothman on top of the bridge a day before the bridge collapsed. So this
Didn't that
bridge,
kill like 40 people? Or
yeah, it
something
did.
like that?
It killed 40 people, and I think a couple more were injured. But yeah, it killed 40 people, and the bridge collapsed. And these people say they saw the Mothman on top of the bridge a day before.
The day before it
so that's
happened.
100% true. Like, 40
The
people
bridge
did
collapsed,
die.
yeah, and the bridge did collapse. Now the sighting of the Mothman on top of the bridge
Yeah.
isn't 100% true. There's a picture of it, but that happened, and the bridge did collapse. And
Yeah,
that was a year after.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
something
that was a
like
year after the first ever sighting of the Mothman. So that,
Huh.
I mean, that's crazy. If you believe in like Bigfoot and stuff like that, maybe this is a new one
I
to
don't.
catch on. You don't think Bigfoot's real?
Nah.
Dude, I 100%, like, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure there was a story, okay, that my mom and stepdad were telling me. And I'm telling you, they were actually being serious. Like, you can tell when people are being serious or not. They said that, like, one night they were down by the creek by our house,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and it was my mom, my stepdad, our neighbors, and a couple of their friends or something like that. And I think they were just riding their, like, side by sides and, like, drinking a little bit, and they were just sitting there chilling, talking, and it was starting to get dark. They said, supposedly, that they heard Bigfoot noises, and that there was this big boulder they got thrown. Like, they were in the woods and they heard this big boulder.
So they seen it?
thrown. I forget if they've seen it or not, but I know they heard it for sure.
So how did they know Bigfoot threw it? It
Okay,
could just be falling.
I mean, yeah, but the spot they were at, I don't know how that big of a rock would fall.
So they saw the rock?
I think they saw the rock. I'm pretty sure.
So you just could have been like total another thing that just
I
like
wish-
an animal that's like big and
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been like a bear.
I
Yeah.
wish I knew the story. I wish I still remembered the whole story, but that just always makes you wonder, like, what.
Oh yeah, there's things that people tell you that makes you like actually think about. Okay, am I just saying I don't believe it because this?
Because everyone else says it's
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a bunch of things how they're kind of like that. They're kind of like that, like the chupacabra
Uh-huh.
kind of thing too.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the same thing with that.
Is that your buddy? Do you have a pet
Yeah,
chupacabra
don't-
down in
that's
Mexico?
not even real. So,
It's a
I
the
think that's a
original.
Mexican thing.
Yeah, it like originated there or
Yeah.
something.
One time
We'll have
I
to
got
get
a-
into that sometime.
One time I got a book at the book fair about that.
A chupacabra?
Yeah, and I was so scared. I think I still have it at my house and I never read it. Because I seen the cover it and I was like, ooh, this is real scary looking.
It looks like a rabid coyote looking
Yes.
thing,
Yeah.
something like that.
And I mean, I always would like interested in like crazy stuff like that, but I never wanted to get into it because I was too scared. And I remember I just like looking at the cover and like reading a little bit of it. I remember it actually made me have nightmares because I was so scared. that I was gonna get
I never
killed
heard about one
by
of those until this
chupacabra.
year.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard of it because Delaney said the
Delaney
dog
was
that I
talking about
want
it, too.
looks like a chupacabra. I was like, what's that? I don't even know what that is.
Maybe it'll get you.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Tai Long somehow his dog
Found
has
dead
rabies.
by a chupacabra.
Yeah.
See, yeah, those are the kind of things that I just don't think are real.
Oh, I don't know exactly what it was, but did you ever see the video? I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was this lady on her Ring camera, and it had that little like I don't know if you guys ever have seen that.
The little one.
It was like a I don't know if it was a little elf or something, but it was running across.
Elf, like the
I think
whatever.
I've
Like what
seen
we were
something
talking
like
about.
similar about that, but you gotta actually tell me what the plan was, just so I can remember.
I would have to search it up real quick, but it was on this lady's front porch. She had a Ring camera, and you could see it run past.
A leprechaun.
I gotta actually see if I can find this.
It was just a cat. Well, after 30 minutes of looking for TikTok, we just can't find it. Well, we can find it still.
Yeah, I do remember seeing it one time on Instagram, whether it was fake or not, but I seen it before.
Probably fake.
But I don't know. Still, that stuff like back on the Mothman, like all that. Just do you wonder if that stuff's actually real?
I don't think it is real because I think by now we would have a picture of them if it was real.
But do you ever?
I don't think Bigfoot's real.
I wonder though, because when I'm like,
Why are there no pictures of them though?
what's that place called? Area 51.
Yeah,
Do
well
you
that's like
ever think-
aliens.
Yeah, that's
I
different.
know, but still, all that stuff. I'm just,
You
know,
think they
I'm-
killed all these things and took them to Area 51?
I just wonder about stuff. I don't know.
See, like,
I
I
mean-
know it's not real, but I wonder sometimes too, but it's just...
It
Kinda
just
like a
seems,
school
never gonna
system.
change it.
it seems weird that our species of human is like intelligent and is like able to learn something. There's nothing else like that. I mean, you got apes and stuff who learn how. I seen one of them doing. It's like the small ring, middle ring, and big ring, and like moving it to where it all lines up. I don't know. Like they're smart about some things. I wonder if there's anything else that has a mind like a human mind. You know what I'm saying? I just wonder.
I feel like some animals might have it.
I think like dogs can kind of understand when you're sad or something sometimes.
And like,
They definitely
Have you
can.
seen like monkeys just acting like us? It's no, actually.
And like joking with
Yes.
like at the zoo. Like I've seen that stuff before.
They might. I don't know. Well, now let's move into like something that I'm looking forward to because I know we can actually get a lot out of this. Our school system.
America's schooling system.
See, we were just waiting to talk about this on the way up here. So
Oh, really?
I'm very, very excited.
Well, let's hear it. What's your thoughts on the schooling system in America?
I mean, for one, you better be prepared to listen for a real long time. Because I think, I'm not going to say no bad words, but I think it's a lot of bull crap, okay? We're getting fed all this stuff. Literally, our math teacher told us, oh, here's this math worksheet. You're not going to use this later in life. Like, come on. Like, come on. There has to be a point that you realize that, like, this stuff just... I think it's all a money scam and all sorts of stuff. And, like, today on Instagram...
We can even go. It's connected to like the pharmaceutical, like giving kids drugs, like if they have ADHD to calm them down. That's crazy.
Yeah, I seen this really interesting thing on Instagram as well, and I have it pulled up on my phone. It says, our education system is based on the 18th century Prussian model. It was designed to create obedient and punctual factory workers in the Industrial Revolution.
Well, do you know who created the school? Who funded the schooling? Like from it was like 1900s. Whenever the schooling system got like it got reformed by a man. Do you know who that man was?
I actually do not.
I feel like I've read about it.
John D.
somewhere.
Rockefeller. Do you know who that
Yes.
is?
I do remember hearing something about that, actually.
Yes.
He was the oil and gas dude. He ran a monopoly for all the oil and gas, and he funded the schooling board. And the schooling board he funded the schooling board, which is 120. He funded it $129 million, which in today's money, that's $4 billion. He spent $4 billion on the schooling
On
system
this.
to make it how he wanted the schooling system to be for future people. Like what he was saying, how the schooling system's for obedient workers and that stuff. That's what he said. His famous quotes, one of his famous quotes is, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So he wanted the schooling system to be like this. He wanted it to be completely obedient workers. He didn't want people to think, oh yeah, I can start a business of my own, this and that. He wanted just the main corporate businesses to be made, and everyone just have workers. Like for oil and gas, for steel and that sort of stuff. Everyone should just get a union job and work that way.
I mean, that is what we're taught too. We're taught you go to college or you're basically gonna not have a good life and you're gonna be, I guess, weird. Honestly, in my opinion, that's what I thought before until my mind has changed a lot recently. But I'm still gonna go to college, even though I know it has no use to me whatsoever, and I think I get more information from reading books on my own. And like, I'm gonna go to college to learn about a business degree. Well, why is my professor there? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was good at business, he
wouldn't be teaching
wealthy.
college.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he would be owning his own
I mean,
business.
that's what Andrew
running
Tate
it.
said one day. Like,
Yeah,
you go to
it is
college
kinda crazy.
To a business degree, and your teacher is just a geek.
Yeah.
Who's probably
Got his
broke.
degree.
I mean, I don't want to say broke. I mean, he's not.
I mean,
rich.
teachers make decent money.
Yeah, but like,
they're not rich,
if he
and
would
they don't.
know a lot about business, he just wouldn't be sitting there teaching other kids about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely people out there who
And-
are doing it just to be.
Well,
that
maybe
wanna
they're
teach.
older guys, like
Yeah.
older people,
Yeah.
professors that are old, and they
Yeah.
already have their business, and now they just want to
Exactly,
teach
but most
the kids.
people don't.
They're
Yeah.
it's like a middle-aged person
Exactly.
that's
And-
teaching you.
I think it's all a joke. Like, the best thing that I could think that I would get out of that is nothing with the schooling at all. It's the communication with other people and getting ideas from them and talking about it and conversating to where I could get their opinions, learn from them, and they can learn from me, and that's about it. Because, I think it's all a bunch of bullcrap. I mean, you are going there to get a piece of paper that is going to help you get a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's right. And you got a lot of people that are very wealthy to this day and that are very intelligent that didn't go to college. You have
And
like
you
Elon
probably
Musk.
never even finished high school.
Yeah, Elon Musk. I think he finished high school. I mean, he did grow up in a wealthy family, but he didn't go to college. But he did read Harvard books. You can
You can buy the Harvard books,
Yeah.
and you can buy
You
like
can
I've seen
get-
us do
you
that.
can get
Hack.
everything now.
Yeah,
I mean, that takes it back to what he said. Like, it's not the 1900s anymore.
yeah.
Like,
You
the
can you
world
have the
has
resources.
changed a lot
Yeah,
to where you can just. I mean, that takes it back to the AI stuff. You can just
Yeah.
go on the internet, look whatever you want.
I mean
get
AI can
whatever
probably
you
make
want
you
out of
money
it.
too.
Yes, it's
so
gonna get to
you
that point too.
to where AI just makes money for you. If you put an idea behind an AI, then the AI will do it for you
Exactly.
now. So you don't even have to do the work. The AI is doing the work for you. You just have to have the idea to make the AI do
Like
that.
schools, like okay, you show up and you do a certain amount of certain things this way, and they teach like okay, this is the only way you can do it. There's no like way around it.
Yeah, which with some things that's true, like with
Yeah,
math
but, like-
classes. But whenever you think about,
Like you be honest, when are you gonna use all that math?
oh yeah, it depends what if
It-
you're
I
not
mean,
getting
depends
into a
what you
jump.
go into, but like again, you show up to a test.
I think in high school, once you get to high school, I think 8th grade should be probably the last year that you have general education, and then after that, you go into your subject that you know.
yes.
A lot of kids don't know though, and that's kind of the
Yeah, I mean, that's
excuse.
so- I mean,
Kids,
yeah.
oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever I'm in high school. Whenever I'm a freshman in high school, but in that case, then I mean, just go into something you're gonna learn. You're not paying for high school anyways. Like it's free unless you're going to a private school, so it's free. So if you just go into a certain subject and you love it, then good. If you don't, then whatever, you can drop out of it. It's just 4 years.
It's free, but at the same time, you think about it, they're teaching you to not be a thinker and to be obedient.
Well, that's
and
what I'm
listen
saying,
to
the
what
high
I'm
school-
saying. So it's free, but at the same time, for the rest of your life after that, they're teaching you, okay, well, go get a good job, work for this person, build their dreams,
Well,
and make them money.
That's why I'm saying you should be in your own specific type of job variant once you get to high school. 8th grade should be technically whenever you graduate. Like you should get a degree whenever you graduate or a diploma whenever you graduate 8th grade. And then from then on, it's kind of like a college atmosphere to where
And,
you're
like,
getting something
too, if
for
you think
your
about
specific
this,
job.
you show up to school, like, take a test. They're basically saying, okay, you have to do this by yourself, and don't cheat or anything. Don't look.
Yeah, whenever you're in...
Whenever you go
Yeah.
out there in the real world, if you have a problem with, I don't know, your business, your job, you're not going to keep it to yourself. You're going to ask other people how to do that. So
Yeah. And it's
you
going to
know
be
what I
like a
mean?
group project type
Yes.
of way. And you see in high school,
in high school, you go
nobody
in,
does
take a
group
test,
projects.
like, you cheat,
Yeah.
you fail.
Well, nobody also in high school. The teachers are like scared to do because they don't want kids to be talking and stuff. They want everyone to be quiet and just listen to them. So
Yeah,
whenever
exactly.
they don't do group projects, they're like, "Oh, I do a group project with you guys if you guys were good. Like you should be doing group projects with us regardless of that." I mean, we don't have any time. Like kids don't have any time to express like they're ramped up in school and they're gonna want to talk to their buddies and stuff. But if you gave them more and more time to talk to their buddies and gave them more time to actually group work, I mean, if they fail it, then that's on them. If they fail the group project because they don't get it done, that's on them. Or if it's bad, then they should get a bad grade. But
Right.
at the same time, there's no opportunity. You do that maybe once every 9 weeks of a group project.
Like I would like to say that probably like 80 or 85% of the things we do in school right now are completely.
Busy
Worthless.
work. I mean, it's busy work.
It's just worthless, useless. We're just not going to use it.
Mhm.
I honestly think when they get to your senior year, that there's not like what is it?
Like we were talking about this the other day too. Like
Well, that's why I take college classes.
Me and Max have we actually have 2 serious classes. We have one that we take in the morning that's like we don't have to take it, but it's a fun class to take. And after that, we have 4 periods of art. Like, come on, and you're not allowed to leave school early. You have to sit there and stay. Why couldn't I leave to go get a job or do something else? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it comes to the point like there's certain requirements to graduate high school. So you have to have 4 maths, 4 Englishes, 3 histories, 3 sciences, and then you can graduate. It's something like that. You also have to have some electives as well. But so those are the requirements to graduate. So after that, I feel like they should almost force you to do college work, or because you can do CCP, which is free college credit plus, but you have to take a test to take this, which is understandable because they don't want a bunch of high school students to take college classes and flunk them all. You have to pay like $500 if you get a D or below in a CCP class. If you get a D or below, yeah, it's $500. So you got to put it. If you fail one of those college classes, then you're going to be paying. But it also shows that you have to do that.
I didn't know that. Actually.
Yeah. So if you don't do your work in a college class, then you're going to be paying $500. So it also gives the kid like, okay, I actually have to do this. I
Why
need
do
to
you
get
have
it done.
to pay though?
Because you failed a college class. So you're doing the CCP for free, but if you're going to college, you're going to have to pay. But since you're doing it through the high school, it's pretty much like the high school's paying it for you. And why would they not? I mean, if you fail it, then it makes sense you need to pay because you failed the high school and you failed the college.
Another thing that I wanted to mention was I've learned a lot on my own. Like this past year, I'd say, like I think me and you and now Max is getting into it too, but I didn't talk to him about it as much until more on the recent side. But like business and money, you know what I'm saying? I've never learned about that in school. It might have came up a couple times.
Yeah, we had that.
But your senior year should be the year you should know how money works, how to do taxes, all this stuff when you get older. Last year, me and Max took a math class called MMR, and it was the dumb math class. But honestly, that's
Honest with you, that's probably the first math class that I've ever had to take in my life that I've actually learned some useful out of.
Yes.
I've actually gotten some useful out of it.
Like whenever we started
I'm not
talking
even kidding.
about, okay, we did a project on our dream houses, okay, and you had to go through every step of like what it's gonna cost, your down payment, utilities, all this type of stuff that have to do with buying
It
a
was
house.
like, okay, you're gonna have this job, you're gonna make that much a year, and you're gonna. It was like, can you afford it? I think that's what it was called, or something like that.
Yeah, it was. If with the job that your dream job, could you afford this house and pretty much I'd say like lifestyle, and no, I think I was like sort of close. But
what was your dream job or
was-
whatever? What was your job?
It's not what I wanted to be now.
No, I don't think mine was either.
Yeah, but it still goes to show, like, everyone dream. I think a lot of people want a lot of things, and they think, oh, well, you can do this and that. Here, let's take a loan out. Well, here it comes. Like, I didn't know that till last year. I mean, what happens if I would have took a loan out and been like, oh, I'll be fine with this house. Then something goes downhill. You have to pay a bunch of money. Now you're just in debt with a house that you can't pay off and all this, and you're scrounging around for money and this and that. You don't get taught.
Well, you take
how
a
to-
personal finance your freshman year, which
Yeah.
is real dumb. That should be one. It should be a senior class, and for 2, it should be like a whole year course. They try to cram it all in half a year as well. It's
Yeah.
only a half a year course, and they make you take it your freshman year. You can't even wait till you're a senior to take it. It should be a senior
though?
course.
Why,
I don't know.
Why not take it till your senior year where, okay, your freshman, I'd say your freshman and sophomore year, it's mostly just messing around. I think it gets. I think you start to buckle down your junior and definitely your.
Well, you start
senior
figuring out
year.
what you're going to be doing in
Yeah.
your life.
So why wouldn't you learn money when it gets? I just. It doesn't make sense to me. Why are we? You know what? I don't even think we really got taught how it even worked. Because I don't remember one single thing from learning that.
What?
Learning how money worked my
Oh.
freshman year. I remember how to
We had
do
a
stuff
book.
from reading books.
Bonsai book.
Come on. I just, I think it's...
I mean, and it's sad that most people just have to learn that by themselves.
Yeah. Well, everyone pretty much does have to
Yeah.
learn about themselves. Like parents,
Like
I guess,
you're at
pass it
school.
down.
I don't know.
You also
I don't know
never
how many
learn.
days
It's kind
of
of
the
like
year
your
you're
parents
at
teach
school.
you about money, so then you also have no other view on how money works other than
Exactly.
what your parents have taught
They're
you.
just... I feel like the school system is hiding it, and there's people high up. I mean, I would never do this in my personal opinion because I want to see people around me succeed.
Well, it's all about keeping people in place too. You
Yeah.
can't have a bunch of billionaires because then everyone's gonna.
Yeah, so
everything's gonna be bought up.
They want to be at the top, and they don't want no one else to learn. And I mean, I understand that. I'm not like that, but I understand why they.
Well, like Elon Musk could definitely change the schooling system if he wanted to with all the money he has. Like Rockefeller spent $4 billion on it and he changed the schooling system. So somebody like that. But I also feel like in today's world, it's like kind of a touchy subject if somebody would try to change the schooling system, and a lot of people don't
I mean,
care
why not,
at the same
I
time.
think it's a big money scam, honestly, because what's his
Well, yeah,
books
the
that we
states
had?
fund it.
The what?
What's his books that we just had in English?
Oh, the study thing.
Okay, so we get all these study sync books in English class, and our teacher was talking about how they just keep sending boxes and boxes of it. Like, she literally said she didn't want any more, and she said, okay, we'll take 10, and they send 100 in. I honestly think that's all a money scam on to get
Well, the
either
more and
money
more-
flowing or something like that, and they're getting us all these books, and we literally have used them like a whole entire book that should probably take like half a year.
We used
and
to like
use it-
twice.
Yeah,
like,
and threw 'em
2
away.
days and threw them away after
threw
that.
them away. Like, come on, what's that all about? Why is there a full book that we're not learning in, but we're getting sent 10 times?
No,
the
I mean, you
amount
just
that
gotta
we
think
need?
about it. Like, probably the more books they send out, the more money they make too.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like.
Well, yeah, it
a
goes
business
back
or
to like
something.
students and how many's in your school. You get more money, more funding. The states
Exactly.
also get more funding from like the federal government.
Yes.
The more schools they have that are succeeding and that sort of stuff.
But you could use the money for so many better things. I mean, why couldn't you get a class on, like, a good class on money, whether it's an online one or not? I just think it's unfortunate, and I'm very glad that I have been able to see some of the information I've been able to, and especially about investing your money while you're young. It just, if you actually do it, you can have yourself a retirement built. And it's absolutely crazy the things I've learned. And I just think that some people don't get to learn that stuff like I did, and I'm very thankful that, and I hope I stick by it, because you can have all that information but not do it. And I'm hoping that I do it and stick by it, and I want to do that. So it's just in the benefit of me knowing all that.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad too. Like, I mean, I've never really thought about how the school system worked till like a couple days ago. It's because I mean, I've never thought about all that kind of stuff, but I'm just kind of like glad my mind changed. I'm just like kind of like what you're saying, like just learning by myself basically, because like most of the stuff I know to this day is that I actually use, I've learned about myself, not because of someone else teaching me that. Because I want to learn that, and so I just go ahead and just do that.
And I think one of the good things is you can read books on people who are millionaires and all this and that. And maybe not everything, excuse me, but I think a lot of the things, if they're going to put a book out, they're going to want it to be good so it sells and makes them more money. So they're going to be telling, in my opinion, I think they'll tell the truth more often. And I think a lot of these millionaires that do make books and stuff like that, I think you get the education that you're wanting from those, because obviously there's going to be people who are going to want to change the school system for you to abide by and listen so that you can work for them, basically. But they're still wanting to make money, and by them giving you information, they're making a lot of money off of it, and they definitely want it to be right and truthful and help people out. but they're still gonna make a lot of bank off of it if it does very well. And I just think reading, I think there's information out there for sure that you can definitely find and search for on your own.
There's a lot of
you
can find.
yeah, and it may not be easy, but you can find it, and there's stuff that you will learn that will help you and benefit you. But when there's someone controlling the school system that's higher up and has the money to train you to be honestly a slave, I think there's still I think slavery, I'm not going to get on it because there's a bunch of stuff about slavery, but I think slavery is still here today. Not in the same shape and form, but it is. You have all these people slaving away. Like, you go to Walmart, okay? You see all these old people working there, like, barely can move around. And, you know, they're working there their whole life. That's terrible. You know, when you get to that age, there should, you know, it's just terrible. You get taught from the day you're born all the way through school. Listen, abide. On how to live a life that's going to be someone else's. You're making money for them.
I feel like whenever you guys, whoever's watching, and whenever you find that information, your mind's just going to change for good. Because I feel like that's what happened to me. Whenever I started like reading and all that stuff, after doing some research, my mind's changed for good. So, yeah, I don't know.
For TikTok.
For the fun fact today, welcome back, Marshall Beer. I don't know, he just missed last week because he was here, so it's Marshall.
Yeah. What are you doing?
So, guys, your fun fact of the day is it takes 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. If you wanted to try.
That's cap.
That is true. Marshall has tested it out.
Oh, yeah. That's cap.
He just tested it out today, actually, before we came here.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. How long do you think it takes?
Less. I think it takes less.
Less than 360. What was it? 364?
I don't know. Something like
He
that.
ain't even
But,
paying attention.
yeah.
So.
But it was, I feel like it's less. It's definitely less.
Never thought about it, actually. So.
I mean, they're all different, though.
Tootsie Pops. So the one with the Tootsie Roll in the middle. So
Okay,
only
what
those
happens if
ones.
it's warm?
Well, then it's different circumstances.
What if it's cold?
Different circumstances.
I don't
You
think-
can't. Whenever you gotta have a
It
control
has to be room
group.
temperature.
Yeah, you can't make it vary. Like, it's gotta be the same. It's gotta be. I don't know what I was gonna say, but it's gotta be yeah.
It has to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a different. No, I don't know. I think there's a different outcome. Not all. I don't think it's always that same number.
I mean, it's obviously not probably always that same number.
Okay, let's try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I tried it. It's true.
Comment down below if you want Clee to do it on the next pod.
No, Marshall.
We'll
will.
post it on Instagram.
Marshall.
We'll make
will.
just an Instagram clip of Clee licking the Tootsie Pop.
Do a time lapse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See how many licks it takes you.
No,
We'll have to make that happen.
Marshall will.
It's either going to be Marshall and Clee, so.
Doorknob. He tried to throw himself in the trash can and completely missed, and then looks at Ty like,
Yeah.
I didn't just do that. Yeah.
Thanks for loading up the trash can again. Look at that. That's every single time we have a podcast, it looks like that right after. It'd be completely empty before he came, and then it'd look like that after.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was kind of full, actually, whenever we got here, so.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You guys have anything else to say today? At all?
Pretty much it.
Clee went on his little rant about school. That was good.
I mean, I wanted to keep going, but I know you guys
Why
have a
didn't you?
life. Because I'm just going to get worked up, and I'm just going to keep going, and it just aggravates me so bad. Just, guys, listen. One thing that I want you guys to do, please read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, everyone
Facts.
everyone dogged on me, even him, for being like...
We all
Rich Dad,
did,
Poor Dad.
actually.
Yeah.
And
That book will change your life and your perspective. Just...
that
It-
book made me want to read after that, actually.
Even if you're not in business, none of that. Just listen. I'm telling you, the way he explains it. So
Even
like,
though
the
you
dumbest.
might think it's about money, but it is about money, but like it is about how just go read it. Actually,
You have to read it, and I'm telling you, it's not like, okay, I always thought like reading, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so hard.
Yes.
It is the most basic thing to read it. Okay, you actually have to read it. I'm telling you, it's
See what
such
that
a
sounds
great
like.
book to start out with.
that it is actually.
Whether anything you're doing, I think once in your life you need to at least read that. Or
That
try
book is going
to
to change your. It's just going to change the way you think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching again. Cave Talk number 11. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it. And yeah, if you guys don't have anything else to say, I guess
Give me back my.
I'm telling you, don't forget to read it.
rich dad, poor dad.
Leave that on there.
No, we don't go on my mic.
You probably messed up the whole thing.
Who?
Deletes all the camera footage.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.